The expected response from Israel has arrived to the Lebanese government, which has made statements supporting the illegal paramilitary organization, Hamas. Tel Aviv, which issued a direct warning not to open a second Iranian-backed anti-Israeli front, said that they will destroy Lebanon to the ground, acting on developments that have caused a very serious crisis in Lebanese internal politics. The Israel Defense Forces have targeted the Lebanese borders. The developments related to the use of the second aircraft carrier sent by President Joe Biden immediately after the claim from the U.S. Senate have created a major crisis in NATO. During the last week and a half of the Israel-Hamas war, the discussions about whether many states in the Middle East should intervene in the conflicts have incredibly increased the tension in the region. The statements made by the Foreign Ministry of Iran, which is known to have provided open support to many illegal paramilitary organizations such as Hezbollah over the years, have further raised the possibility of opening new fronts. Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Abdullahian, who recently visited Lebanon, held a meeting here with Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of the illegal Hezbollah organization. Immediately after the visit of the Iranian delegation, Hezbollah Deputy Secretary General Naim November stated that they will take action when the time comes to act, once again showing that it is only a matter of time before Hezbollah joins the war soon. In this process, Hezbollah militants located on the Lebanese borders, who have become a kind of puppet of Iran, have indirectly made moves against Israel. However, the recent loss of the life of an Israeli soldier during an attack organized by militants of the illegal Hezbollah organization was the last straw that overflowed the glass. The Israeli army, which towed a large number of Apache model Attack helicopters to the Lebanese border, then targeted Hezbollah points located on the Lebanese southern line, explaining that a point belonging to Hezbollah was successfully neutralized as a result of airstrikes using numerous long-range cannons and unmanned combat aircraft. The head of the Israel Defense Forces spokesman unit, General Daniel Hagari, cited the violation of the border by a drone belonging to the Lebanese Hezbollah as the reason for the attack. The Lebanese government, on the other hand, stated that they could not prevent a possible offensive launched by the Israeli army from the south. Despite all this confusion, is it possible for Iran to take back Jerusalem and the Al-Aqsa Mosque by engaging Lebanon, where it considers its regional power most strongly? There have been harsh statements from the Israeli authorities on this issue. Israeli National Security Advisor Zaki Hanegbi, who personally made a statement targeting the Lebanese Hezbollah, said that the Israel Defense Forces will not hesitate to destroy Lebanon if Hezbollah launches an attack from a second front. The statements of the head of the Israel Defense Forces spokesman unit, Daniel Hagari, once again brought to the agenda the heavy sanctions that the possibility of Lebanon's involvement in the war would bring. Speaking about the problems that the Lebanese government's acting in accordance with Iran's directives will create, Hagari noted that any support for the illegal paramilitary organization Hamas will not go unpunished. After the Iranian and Lebanese governments made similar statements in a cooperative manner, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu issued a direct warning and intimidated the governments of both countries. Netanyahu, who clearly stated that they will continue the war until they achieve absolute victory over Hamas, said, "We are warning the Lebanese Hezbollah and Iran, do not test our will. The price would be too heavy." The arrival of the second warplane sent by the U.S., a supporter of Israel, to the eastern Mediterranean at the very moment of this crisis has raised many questions. Can the United States launch a direct attack on Lebanon and Iran with these aircraft carriers? The latest statements from the U.S. Senate increase this possibility even more. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham in the U.S. stated that this situation poses a huge threat to Israel, claiming that concrete evidence of Iran's links with Hamas and Hezbollah has existed for a long time. Graham, who said that the United States should take action as soon as possible, argued that Iran should be bombed in order for the war to end as soon as possible. The arrival of the second U.S. aircraft carrier in the eastern Mediterranean immediately after these statements, which caused a huge echo in the world press, led to increased allegations that an attack was planned against Iran. Especially the U.S.-Iran relations, which became open hostility with the Iranian Revolution in 1979, also came to the fore as one of the decisive factors in the Israel-Hamas war. U.S. President Joe Biden, who condemned the Hamas attack in a statement on the first day of the war, issued a warning directly to the Iranian government. Biden's rhetoric, which suggests that Iran should not pursue an anti-Israeli policy in any way during the war and should not support Hamas even in the slightest, has further raised suspicions that the United States will launch any attack against Iran. However, is the statement made by Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Abdullahian, who ignored all the decrees of the United States during his recent visit to Lebanon, a sign that Iran will take action. Abdullahian suggested that the United States should review its support for Israel if it does not want to turn the current war into a regional conflict, and during this process, he also met with Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah after the illegal Hezbollah organization militants carried out attacks on Israel's borders within a week and a half. The Iranian delegation's participation in such a meeting garnered a huge reaction. Acting on statements from the Iranian Foreign Ministry, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said that President Joe Biden's support for an aircraft carrier to Israel is a very necessary move against the Iranian threat, noting that the U.S. government is afraid of an escalation of the war and Iran's direct intervention in the war. Sullivan, who said that the U.S. support for Israel will continue to increase, argued that the arrival of the second aircraft carrier in the eastern Mediterranean is only essential for regional public order. However, not all NATO countries agree with the United States. Turkey, which has one of NATO's largest military forces and has been pursuing a policy of balance in the Middle East for many years, had called on the Israeli and Palestinian sides to exercise restraint after the Hamas attack on October 7th. However, just a few days after this announcement, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who was re-evaluating the Israel-Hamas war, made unexpected statements. Erdogan, who stated that the U.S. sending aircraft carriers to Israel will only cause the war to grow even more, announced that the first support package for Palestine was delivered by Turkey. Are the statements of President Erdogan, who suggests that it is extremely necessary to send humanitarian support packages containing supplies, medicines, clothes for the Palestinian people from other states in the near future, a harbinger of differences of opinion in NATO. During this process, French Foreign Minister Catherine Colonna also stated that they have started working to provide a humanitarian corridor and send support packages for the Palestinian people to move away from the Gaza Strip, where the conflict is intensifying.